We have a workshop on February 25th from 1 to 3:30. It's going to be put on by Angie, and if you want to get with her and find out more information, but basically it's a creative journey to finding your dreams. It's $37 a person, and we have spots available, so let us know if you're interested. And you can find more online on our Facebook page and on your Facebook page, which is Lavender Wellness. Is that it?
I just have my own.
Oh, just under Angie Rooker?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's it. Back to JT.
You guys familiar with Hamilton?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know it makes people angry in Washington.
We love it.
Yeah.
So does anything having to do with the Constitution. This is King George singing about breaking up with America. You say the price of my love's not a price that you're willing to pay. You cry in your tea that you hurl in the sea when you see me go by. Why so sad? Remember we made an arrangement when you went away. Now you're making me mad. Remember, despite our estrangement, I'm your man. You'll be back, soon you'll see. You'll remember you belong to me. You'll be back, time will tell. You'll remember that I served you well. Oceans rise, empires fall. We have seen each other through it all. And when push comes to shove, I will send a fully armed battalion to remind you of my love. Da 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 da. You say our love is draining and you can't go on. You'll be the one complaining when I am gone. And no, don't change the subject, 'cause you're my favorite subject. My sweet, submissive subject. My royal subject. Forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. You'll be back like before. I will fight the fight and win the war. For your love, for your praise, and I'll love you till my dying days. When you're gone, I go mad, so don't throw away this thing we had. 'Cause when push comes to shove, I will kill your friends and family to remind you of my love. Da 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 ba da 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 ba da 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 da. Everybody. Da 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 ba da 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 da. Okay. How many of you sing in the shower? Get ready to do like a lot of show of hands stuff. How many of you sing in the car or the shower? How many of you sing in both? How many of you sing doing chores? How many of you sing in the bedroom? I'm so disappointed. How many of you believe... How many of you believe there's such a thing as a natural voice? A natural singing voice? And how many of you believe that singing is something you either can do or you can't do? You're born with it or you're not. Only one person, good. Because if you were right, I would be so out of a job as a voice teacher. So, singing is a skill that can be acquired just like everything else. But sadly, you need to understand a few things before you can really start to develop your own voice. Here's something for you. Have you people noticed that old people have like big noses and big ears, right? Do you know why that is?
They keep growing.
They keep growing. Those parts of your body grow throughout your entire life. Well, it turns out your vocal cords are exactly the same way. How many young opera singers have you ever seen? Right? Now take Bryna back there. Even if she had 100% perfect technique right now, she couldn't do things like the Queen of the Night aria. She couldn't go be an opera singer. Her vocal folds just aren't thick enough, right? Which is why you teach young singers like her to sing very, very relaxed, very soft, very breathy, right? And what actually made me think of this was the baby over there going, rah, rah, rah. So right now, her vocal cords are very, very thin and very, very frail. How come screaming like that all day long doesn't tear her voice to shreds? Because instinctively, what do babies do? They put all the sound right here in the front of their face. Doesn't ever touch their throat. They can do it all day. Kids on the playground running around, what do? Ah, 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 ah. All up there. It never touches their throat. It's why they never get vocally tired. But sometime around puberty, our voices start descending back into our throats. And then something else happens. The brain separates the parts that handle singing from what handle speaking. It's an interesting fact of psychology that people who speak with a stutter don't stutter when they sing, because you're accessing two different parts of the brain. But there's a problem to that. The part of your brain that handles singing makes you want to do things like listen to yourself and strain and push. Right? Good singing, relaxed singing, is a lot like being a baby. You say our love is draining and you can't go on. I'm just speaking on pitch with being relaxed and taking a good deep breath down here. So first thing to accept, if you can speak, you can sing. It's as simple as trying not to. A, B, C, D, I'm speaking on pitch, and it still sounds okay because I'm not straining my throat. Anybody can do that. The next thing to accept is you will never hear what you sound like. Blame God, he designed you that way. No, don't do that. So you guys see in Western movies where they put their ear to the ground to hear a train coming, right? That actually works. It's called hearing through conduction, and that's how you hear your voice. Your vocal cords vibrate, and it sends the vibration up to your eardrum, right? Problem is, you are the only person who hears your voice that way. Great for you singing in the shower, not great if you want other people to hear a good sound. Right? They hear the vocal cords coming straight out of your mouth and striking their eardrum. So Bryna, what's one of the first things we try to get you to do?
Not listen.
Don't listen. In fact, in the middle of your range, blah, 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 blah. Like I sound okay to me. If I'm in my top range, you declared. Do you hear what that is in my face? Sound okay to you guys? Sounds like garbage to me. Absolute garbage. In fact, I can demonstrate this for you. Bryna, come on up here. I'm not going to have you sing quite yet.
Okay.
So I want you to face this way. Put your mouth next to this microphone. Stand right here. Okay, so I'm going to have Bryna sing a thing or two. Put your hand here on your tummy. You're going to hold up a number of fingers from 1 to 5. Based on how you feel the purity of your sound is. If it feels obnoxious, like nails on a chalkboard, 1. If you think it sounds pure to you, 5. Just do the beginning of Dangerous Game. Now you guys, hands up, you're going to rate the purity of the sound you hear. Okay? I feel your fingers.
I feel your fingers.
On your tummy, hand on the tummy. We want to hide your number from them.
Okay.
Oh my God, stop ruining everything. Keep going. The secret to being a good voice teacher is to abuse your students at every opportunity.
Do I keep going?
Yes. Never question me again.
Cold on my shoulders, your chilling touch as it runs down my spine.
Okay, that high note there. Hold your hands up. Now hold your hand up and turn around. All right, you can go sit down. I'll bring you back up in a second.
Okay, thank you.
It's one of the hardest things.
I'm an opera singer, why do I need this? It's one of the hardest things to accept for young singers, that you have to learn to stop listening to yourself. That's the whole reason you sing to begin with, right? To hear how good you sound. And it took Bryna a while to accept, too, that you eventually get to a point where it's more rewarding for it to feel right than to be right. So how do you make it feel right? Well, have you ever heard the term sing from the diaphragm? Right? What does that actually mean? Let me get a volunteer. I'll do like a halfway voice lesson up here. You don't have to sing. I'm not going to make you sing. Anyone? Okay, Dave. Dave the Brave. All right, come on up here, Dave.
People do anything.
So, your body instinctively knows how to get air out of it, how to keep the throat open so air can move out of it. Dave, can you buzz your lips? Okay, never mind. We're not going to have you do that. Probably a good idea. All right. Help me pronounce your name. Sorry.
Marta.
Marta. Come on up here for a second.
Thanks, Steve.
Marta, do me a favor. Just stand to the side of Dave here. Make a claw hand. Put your fingers over his belly button. And really dig into him. Hurt him. Like BDSM. There you go. No, not like that. There are children in the room. Okay, so, all right. So Dave, here's what I want you to imagine. You've got a birthday cake in front of you. Biggest birthday cake you've ever seen with 100 birthday candles on it, all right? Now, you have to blow out all the birthday candles in one breath. There's a caveat, as there always is in voice lessons. You have to blow them out one at a time. So no getting them all. You have to... One breath, you have to get all 100. Come on, get all that air in. Breathe in. You gotta get all 100. Now, that's right. Thank you. Now, what Marta is undoubtedly feeling is every time he blows out a candle, his abs kick out. Your body instinctively does that to keep the throat open. And the way I do it with my own students, and the way you can do this in your own home if you wish to do so, put your hand over your tummy, just like hers was. Yep. And hold this with the other hand. Now breathe in and blow it up. Kudos to you. Oh, wow, look at you. This is strong. These are meant to be blown up by machines, so. Now, what he felt, as you can imagine, was this pushes out to keep the throat open, right? Thank you, guys. That's what it means to sing from your diaphragm. Now, just like with singing in a spoken fashion or accessing the different parts of your brain that help speaking versus singing, when people sing, the opposite tends to happen in the beginning. This comes inward, like this all collapses, which is the wrong way to do it. You need to not think about trying to make a pretty sound, and instead start focusing on what the air is doing. Did you breathe and did this expand? Did you feel your body expand down through your ribs? And when you're singing, does this go inward, right? Come on up here, I'll show you something. Yep, come on up.
Sat in the front.
I'll show you something. And the show has reached a new low. All right, so claw hand here on me. Yeah, push in, hurt me. There you go. You've been a fool, and so have I, but come and be my wife. Right? Tell them what you felt there. It was pushing out, right?
Yes.
It was increasingly hard for you to push in, all right?
Yeah.
So, thank you.
It kept pushing out.
It kept pushing out the entire time. It never collapsed in. So when you're at home in the shower, claw hand yourself, leave bruises, and just try to breathe in and keep that moving. Pa, so you're not going pa in your throat, all right? All right, so that's how to reject from the diagram. All right.
Next, frontal resonance. And here's where I'm actually going to bring you up. Anytime you feel your throat involved, something is wrong, right? That's how you get nodes on your throat. That's how you make yourself sore. Good singing should be relaxed. It's something you should be able to do 8 hours a day, and you might be tired, but you won't be sore, right? And so, Bryna, come on up here. We're going to show you what we mean by frontal resonance. As an addendum, remember what I said about how singing's a skill you can learn like any other? She sounds pretty good, right? Very pure sound. And I've told her this before, so I don't feel bad about saying this to a group of people. Her first semester, she was absolute garbage. She was just trash. When you talk to her at lunch, you'll see she has a very throaty, natural speaking voice, and it took a long time for her to learn what it meant to get the sound out of the throat. She tends to talk here, but you want the sound to be up here in your face. That's what we mean about frontal resonance. And the thing is, you can't force your voice to do that. You can't push the sound to the front of your face. Like any strain is going to engage these muscles. It's going to close your throat, and you don't want that. So when you're singing as a young singer, you want to be very light. La, very up here. And this is the song that got Bryna to turn the corner. You guys familiar with Chicago? So, in an effort to get Bryna to not think about singing, I gave her probably the most absurd song a singer like her can possibly have, and that's what taught her to sing in more of a spoken fashion. Hang on. Try to hear where the voice is in the front of her face as she sings this. Oh wow, time flies. I did not think I've been yapping for that long. Okay. Bryna, tell a joke while I'm loading this up.
What did the blanket say when it fell off the bed? Oh, sheet! That's my favorite one.
Don't use swear words like that, your mother's.
I was gonna say, I don't have any more jokes.
And now, lady.
Just kidding. That is the wrong one. All right, yeah.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the keeper of the keys, the countess of the clink, the mistress of murderers row, matron Mama Morton.
Ask any of the chickies in my pen. They'll tell you I'm the biggest mother hen. I love them all and all of them love me. Because the system works, the system called reciprocity. Ooh. That was rough.
Not screw up the rest of this.
Got a little motto, always sees me through. When you're good to mama, mama's good to you. There's a lot of favors I'm prepared to do. You do one for mama, she'll do one for you. Tit for tat, and that's the way I live. So I deserve a lot of tat for what I've got to give. Don't you know that this hand washes that one too? When you're good to mama, mama's good to you. If you want, if you want my gravy, pepper my ragu, spice it up for mama, she'll get hot for you. When pass that basket. Folks contribute too. You put in for mama, she'll put out for you. The folks atop the ladder are the ones the world adores. So boost me up my ladder, kid, and I'll boost you up yours. Let's all stroke together like the Princeton crew. When you're stroking mama, mama's stroking you. So what's the one conclusion I can bring this number to? When you're good to mama, mama's good to you.
God, I have so much to talk about that now. For one, I'm glad she flatted the note in the beginning.
Yeah, I was gonna say I totally flatted it.
No, like, for one, I'm glad she did, because you heard what happened. The sound went from here to here. She let herself tighten up, right? That's why that happened. She lost her relaxation. I tell my students in the beginning, singing isn't like lifting weights. I don't want all the effort in the world from you. In fact, any strain will hurt your progress. The students who have the hardest time are the ones who give me the most effort. Man, they'll sprain every muscle in their body trying to get the sound out, and you need the exact opposite from them. It's not like lifting weights, it's like trying to balance a quarter on edge. Very little muscle involvement, lots of control. I have one student who's a total nerd. I was like, you ever seen the Star Wars movies? Empire Strikes Back, in the swamp in Dagobah, when Luke's trying to lift the ship and he can like barely budge it, and then Yoda just walks up and he's like, meow. Like, be Yoda, be a Jedi, like control rather than strain. And I actually use another metaphor with her. So when you're singing, you don't want to try to force the voice into a register. And what I mean by that, the voice moves to different places in the front of your face at different pitches, and the way you can tell where it should be is by buzzing your lips. I can feel where that is right there. So when I sing it, there it is right there in the front.